Right, making his way to the cage, Roggy Lawson, 26 years of age, from the Snake team. 7-1 on his pro record, and Frank, 5 of those by way of submission.
Good guy on the ground, understands top and bottom game, not just the bottom game. Gets most of his submissions though from a transitional game when he's being attacked, the guy's coming after him. He'll get into a great submission position, changes things up very, very quickly. Can he pull it off though tonight?
Well, the thing is only defeat came in his second fight. So he's really built momentum in his career here, learned from that second loss, come back, and really, you know, from the last 6 wins, 4 have been subs, so he's a very confident man here.
We're going to see an immediate attack. He does a lot of striking to get himself inside, so he's going to try to punch his way in, which is very common for grapplers. He's going to punch their way into the inside, and it's very tough in a cage position, because as you're backpedaling trying to catch him as he's coming in, you end up hitting the barrier and you have nowhere to go. In a ring where you've got ropes, at least you can kind of rope-a-dope a little bit, get your head away, and kind of force yourself off. But in a cage, eventually the grappler's going to catch you. And that's what's going to happen. Can you hit him before he gets there? And to be honest with you, he hasn't been touched with that often, Mr. Lawson. He's been caught a couple times, but he ends up getting on top. And once he gets on top, he recovers very, very quickly, and he's able to finish it most of the time.
And he's a solid middleweight as you see him coming in here, isn't he?
Yeah, it's very, very strong, very, very thick. Obviously, for the upper torso, you can see this, but he spends a lot of time working on his strength and conditioning, his power through lifting, but does that last into the later rounds? It's still a question. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't for him.
And making his way to the cage, his opponent, 10 years older, Andy DeVent, Lions Pro MMA. Now, we saw him at 15, BAMMA 15, and he lost a decision to Harry McClellan. And Harry's a good guy, isn't he?
Yeah, very, very good striker, increasingly better striker, excuse me, getting better on the ground, and really at 10-9, he's in a spot. He loses this fight, he's at 500, obviously. You want to keep yourself in the winning space, and puts a lot of self-imposed pressure on himself, too, inside the cage. Then adding into he's about to be 500 puts even more pressure on him.
Well, before that last loss at BAMMA, he was on a 4-fight win streak with 3 KOs. So he was building up momentum that just suddenly came to a stop at BAMMA 15.
And it's been tough. Remember, we watched him come from, having a losing record, put himself back on track. Now all of a sudden he's almost 500, not quite, he's a little bit ahead of it. And it's a difficult spot because he was doing so well in that last fight. He really was doing a good job, and kind of just got, he just wasn't the guy that night. He just wasn't, it was a great fight, he was a great fighter that night. He just wasn't the guy that night. His opponent was much better, and that sometimes happens. Like, you're just gonna meet up guys that are better than you. That's the reason why we have these fights. Hopefully tonight he won't, but this is a very, very, very good match-made fight. It's gonna be interesting to see how these guys really try to pick each other apart. And I don't know if they're gonna have a 15-second filling out period, a 30-second filling out period.
So, tail of the tape, and as you can see, 10 years older, Andy DeVent, vastly more experienced, but Roggy Lawson, only that 1 loss in his second fight. That could be vital in this matchup. So let's go to our MC, Mr. Mike Markham, for the official announcements.
The following bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the BAMMA middleweight division. Introducing first, the man standing to my right and fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall and weighed in at 181 3/4 pounds. He is a freestyle fighter. His record 7 victories, opposite a single defeat, with 5 wins coming via submission. Fighting out of Paris, France, Roggy Lawson. The opposition comes in the form of the man standing across the cage to my left and fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall. His official weight, 185 1/2 pounds. He is a mixed martial artist. His record, 10 victories, opposite 9 defeats. Fighting out of Stretford, Manchester, England, Andy the Lion's Paw DeVent. your referee, Neil Hall.
So, Frank, the thing here is, on paper, though, Andy DeVent is the more rounded of the two fighters. He's got 4 KOs, 4 subs on his record, so he's comfortable either way. And when you look, as we said at Roggy, it's all by submission. So you mentioned the matchmaking. It's a perfect contrast, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is what really makes fights on. Can the submission guy get the striker to the ground? Can the striker keep it on his feet? You know, it's going to be very difficult. It's very difficult for both guys to kind of maintain their position, but if you have to give it anyway, it's 70-30 towards the grappler, because fights always end up on the ground. Just by accident, because at some point someone's going to slip.
So Andy DeVent looking to come back after BAMMA 15 loss here at Victoria Warehouse in Manchester, and a great, knowledgeable crowd tonight, Frank. We're absolutely packed in here.
I know, packed from the early fights. And from the very first fight, where standing room only was already jumped in. So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, how the crowd's energy is come the main event later on tonight with Paul Daly. You know, they still have that same energy. I would think so, because he's such a dynamic striker. They're going to be looking for that KO.
And we mentioned the submission man. It's Andy DeVent that goes for the double leg and gets the takedown.
Perfect double leg, too. Really caught Roggy off guard. Didn't have his legs underneath him, caught him, straightened him out, put him right underneath. Now, what can he do with it?
And every angle I look at this fight, and we mentioned, you know, the way matches are made. You look at Roggy, 26 in his prime. You look at Andy, 36. You're looking at the tail end of that career. It's just so many little differentials, isn't there, that make this so fascinating, this fight.
You know, is 36 too old? Are you starting to lose your knowledge? Is 26 too young? Are you really in a space where you can actually continue to fight? As you see Neil there. Oh, another great takedown. Jeez. Wow, great job by Andy. Full mount now, took him down, stepped right over. Roggy has nothing for him at this point. He hasn't done anything at all really offensively except try to hold on. Now he's about to get beat up. He's got 2 hands on 1.
And you can see Andy's intent there. And now, really, Roggy almost giving him his back there as well, Frank.
He's in this is a really strange position for me. I don't understand why Roggy's he's in this spot where he's giving up bad spots.
And those elbows are coming down as well now. And we mentioned it in the previous fight about being a legitimate 4-0 and really looking it. Well, Roggy has said 7-1, only lost his second, but he looks just a bit out of his class here, to be honest.
Now you talk about quality of competition. You know, he's 7-1, but what was the quality of competition? We all know that, you know, Andy's faced a lot of quality competition, tough competition, and that builds you, win or lose, that builds you into an opponent. Full back mount now with both hooks in. If he can get that one hand free, he's gonna be able to he'll be able to start locking in a choke here if he can keep him there. Wow, good position.
And what he's done is he's dominated his opponent at the moment. The man that we were looking with 5 submissions on his record to really cause Andy problems, it's been totally the other way around, Frank.
This has been complete domination at this point. Now he's trying to find a way to hit him. He's picking around his arms. And the only thing that Roggy has is to turn back to his back to give up full mount again. And now he's gonna have to go back at some point. We'll see him, he's doing it again. He's gonna turn himself up and give his back again. He's just been mounted, back mounted, and back mounted the entire time. Andy has spent a lot of diligence in his grappling game. You can see he's so much tighter. There's no space between his hips anymore. Every time he gets the back position, he's immediately starting to dig for a rear naked choke. He's looking for that choke position. Roggy's doing a great job of tying his hands up, but really, he's had nothing for him but defense.
That's right.
He'll flatten him out. He's got both hooks again. He's going to flatten him out one more time.
And he's got time to do it as well. There's no 2 ways about it, and it's been a dominant opening round from Andy DeVent. And again, we talk about it being 10-9, but when you look at it in the cold light of day, that's 19 fight experience.
Yeah, that really is. I mean, don't make any bones about it, man. That's at almost, now this is 20th fight. I don't care what, he can be 1-19. He's a dangerous man because he's had that much ring experience, and having that kind of ring experience is very, very dangerous for anybody to battle against.
And at the moment, it is showing here, isn't it? It's as simple as that.
Again, I mean, this is, right now we're at a 10-9 round, tipping on a 10-8. If he can find a way where it could almost be stopped, he can get himself into a 10-8 round. But right now it's obviously a 10-9 round to this point for Andy DeVent.
Now, when you look on the positives, there's nothing at the moment in this opening round we can say that gives Roggy Lawson hope, is there? There's nothing we've seen offensively or anything that he's done that makes you think, yes, I can see some light here. No,
nothing at all. He's been taken down 4 times, if my count is right. He's been pushed out, he's been bloodied up, he's been beaten to stand up, he's been beaten to takedowns, he's been beaten to grappling. He's done nothing. So unless he gets a lucky 1-punch something, I don't see the light of day at least to this point in the fight.
Yes, a classic start to the opening round from Andy DeVent, and the perfect comeback after BAMMA 15. Oh, both men went to spin at the same time.
A little bit more on that hook kick for DeVent. If he hooked that around, he would have caught him in the ear.
And Frank, the round ended how it started. DeVent in attack mode.
Yeah, 10-9 for Andy DeVent. There's no question about that one. Like I said, I didn't see a space where it could have been stopped, but complete domination. You know, if there's complete domination, you give it a 10-8, but this wasn't that position. Nice, deep, gets his hands locked, picks him up, and puts him right on his butt.
He pops free from the slight guillotine attempt, and from there, his transitions, he just dominated, didn't he?
Yeah, he was in full position control, full fight control, full ring control. Anything you want to talk about trying to control him, man, he controlled this entire fight. Even when he got away from control, he immediately put him back into control. You see with that double leg coming back in again.
Yeah, and then you said that hook kick really came close to landing. It just missed.
It just a little bit more. He needed another half inch or so, or an inch on his leg length to be able to finish it.
So let's turn negatives into positives. Roggy Lawson has got to the end of the round. His corner has had a chance to speak to him. What do you say to him, Frank?
If I'm in the corner, tell him, look, you have to stop trying to defend the takedown and get your takedowns in. Get offensive with your takedowns. Stop throwing these big haymaker punches, allowing him to come underneath you. Start doing little short jabbing punches. Try to salt and pepper him a little bit to make him make a bad shot and catch him on the way in, or get off so you can get your takedown in. Because right now you're not winning the stand-up and you're not winning the ground game, so you need to get yourself on top and see what happens.
So
very stiff Roggy is. You can see his shoulders. He's been built up too much with his shoulders. He's built up too much with his chest now. You can see that he spent a lot of time on the strength and conditioning, but to the point almost where he has no ability to be able to be flexible and be able to get his arms around.
And big looping punches again. And you mentioned about tightening them up. It gave Andy the way in again early in this second round.
Way back in, like Andy's coming in. He's against the cage. Get his hands locked to be able to get this takedown in relatively easy. He's got to fight. This is one of those positions where I'm in here deep. I know he's got a partial underhook on me, but I really want to fight to get my hands locked. I really want to push myself in this position. Spend a little 2%, 3% extra energy to end up on top again. Little Kimura attempt on top of the Roggy, but easy defended by Andy. He's on top again. Now he's taking his back.
For me, it's the ease he's managed these transitions.
It's almost like, for a man that has 5 submission victories, it's almost like he's a guy that doesn't know how to really do submission, because he's really being caught up, he's really being pressed.
That's what shocked me in that opening round, and is shocking me now, really, Frank, is that you look at the record and you think, this is going to be dangerous for Andy, whether he's on his back or in top position, as soon as this man hits the ground, but it hasn't been.
You know, in Andy DeVent, you know, he's got 4 wins by submission, 4 wins by KO, TKO, and then 2 decisions. Both guys have 2 decisions. So Andy's a little more well-rounded, like you said, in the beginning of the first round, but it's the achievement of how well-rounded he is, and it's a difference of legitimately night and day. This is a very well match-made fight, but it's just not even close up to this point.
Cardio as well, I'm sure. You mentioned those big muscles. It's playing a real toll on Roggy Lawson now. He looks so tired in there now, Frank.
Everything he does is very, very powerful. Double hand grip, he's trying to tie up the wrists. He's using both hands, he's trying to use his back muscle to pull it in. When he's on his feet, he's trying to he's in a position where he's really trying to push and pull, but he's using big, heavy motions, big, heavy movements. His takedown defense is big and heavy. And even now, he's got double hooks in on him again. He's got his back. Everything he does is a big, heavy motion. He tries it one time and stops. He's not doing any little motions. He's going to get caught. Looks like it's underneath his chin from my position.
Well, he's flattening him out now, Frank. He's getting there now, is Andy. And again, with that experience, he's very methodical, isn't he?
Taking his time. You can tell the experience now of a man with 20 fights under his belt. He's taking his time. He doesn't quite have it. Now he's got the left arm in. He's starting to sink in a little bit deeper. I can't tell now if he's got it back underneath the chin or not. He had the right hand underneath the chin, but it got battled out. Left hand is under. He looks like he's got it in a power position. He might flip that elbow down and try to go to a power choke.
Well, you can see Neil's worried for Roggy now. He's in close, and he just checked that he was still conscious there and still looking to get out, but he's been flattened out again. I think Neil's very close to getting in here now.
Yeah, he's in a position now where it would be legitimate to stop. Oh, he let him out with back hooks. If he kept him there, kept hitting him, he would have been legit stopping the fight for sure, Neil would have been.
Well, he's raining elbows down now. It might be a stoppage anyway, Frank. He's bullying the man now. I mean, he really is bullying him.
This really is a position. This is a 10-8 round. If it makes it to the distance, in my mind, unless he does something huge, just a 10-8 round. In a complete position, it could have been stopped. You know, Neal was leaning in. He almost could have stopped it at any time. It really was, you know, had him double back hooks in, flattened out, ready to smack him up.
He's trapped the arm now, Frank, as well.
And it's just, this is to me so surprising because of how good Roggy was in the submission game, but getting completely outclassed by Andy DeVent, and not just that how good Andy has gotten better at the submission game, but he is light years ahead of Roggy at this position.
And this is close
it's
again.
On his chin, you can see it. If you can get him flat, he'll be able to. But see, he's turning back into it again. He's got to get him flattened out and get in that position when flattened out.
The problem for Roggy is he's susceptible to the ground and pound as well when he turns. He's getting a beasting here.
There's not a position. Now he's hoping that at this point, Andy's going to give him up. Just let him get away.
Well, he's been relentless. He's been very methodical. He's been in control over the full 2 rounds. And he doesn't look tired either. You can't see any light at the end of the tunnel. You can't see any hope.
You know, I can see Neal letting us go, but I'd totally be okay with Neal winning a stop at this point too, because now he's not intelligent. Now he's got the rear naked and he's got this back. He's got him pinned in. This fight's going to be over here relatively soon.
He's got enough time.
Wow.
Oh, he let go again, but I thought he had enough time. But Roggy is really feeling the pace there, really sluggish. And again, when you talk about the stoppage, there's nothing coming back, is there? There's nothing. When you talk about intelligent defense, he's hanging on now.
He's just trying to get through the round. He's waiting for the bell to come off. You know, that's it. He's called. I think Neal's called the doctor and have him take a look at Roggy's face and nose.
Well, let's take it one step further. As this corner, do you say enough's enough? You're not going to win this.
I got it. And that's the thing. The thing I don't like, the difference between boxing and MMA, that I don't like the difference is that the corners in boxing aren't scared to go, no, we're done. We've had enough.
Yeah.
But the corners in MMA it's like pride. Like they have too much pride for the fighter. They want to call it off.
Because this is dominant. Look, the chopping elbows, as you said. Whenever he had his back, he was looking for the rear naked. When he spun him, the elbows dropped. This was a totally one-sided round. No matter how much respect you want to give a fighter, this was totally one-sided.
I'm looking at trying to look at the conversation, trying to relive from over here. I think the doctor's letting it go on in the corner, but you know,
if I was his corner man, I'd say you've done enough.
Enough at this point. Yeah, he's got a 10-8 round. He's got a 10-9 round. It's time to end it. Because even if he comes back with a 10-8 round, he still loses. Even if he wins the next round by 10-8, he still. So unless he can finish, which we've never seen, any position we thought he could make this thing happen, I would have stopped this fight. If I was in his corner, I personally would have stopped the fight for my fighter and called it on myself later and like, look, be mad at me, fire me, don't let me be in your corner again. But I'm gonna save your life now.
And again, he's breathing very heavily here.
Every time he lifts his arms up, his shoulders rise to his ears. He's in a position now where he's got no energy left. He's fading.
And Andy DeVent can afford to take his time here. He can afford to work his way in here. He knows he's 2 to the good.
Really, he's 3 to the good at this point, you know, in my mind. I mean, obviously, you don't think a judge, you know, there's a lot of judges don't like giving out 10-8 rounds, but that last round definitely was a 10-8 round in my mind.
Oh, and Roggy's shipping heavy punches as well now. He tried the right thing, Frank. He tried for the offensive, but got punished for that. He had to go for it.
He's got no choice at this point. If I want to win this fight, I got to get in here. I mean, if you're not in the fight to win it, if you're not going to try and do whatever you can to win the fight, you might as well just, you know, bail out and just tap out at this point anyway.
Well, that's what I'm going to say on a positive note for him. He's got that warrior heart. He's had plenty of opportunities, and he came out in this third trying to throw leather and got punished for it.
I know. Look in the second round. He had 2 deep rear naked chokes in on him. He spins himself back over again. He gets out of it. Like the heart on Roggy Lawson is incredible on this guy. But he is taking a beating at this point, and he kind of needs to reassess.
And he's just been slammed again heavily.
We see Cyril Diabates, his corner, is Roggy Lawson's corner. He fights for his snake team, and it's tough when you're an active fighter trying to look at another fighter objectively going, okay, I need to stop this fight, because as a fighter, you don't ever want the fight to be stopped. And so it's tough as a cornerman going, this isn't a situation, you know, it's a spot really where, what can he do? You know, what can Roggy do at this point?
Well, this is deja vu for me. It's the same position. And good call. We had a feeling, and it's come in. That's the right call, Frank.
Yeah, that really is. Tal got thrown in corner stoppage on that one. The right call, that was perfect mind. And like I was saying, you know, it's difficult to call when you're an active fighter like Cyril is, and then you have to worry about, okay, what am I going to do to my fighter? What's going to happen? You know, I want to give him every opportunity to try to show his heart and show his ability. He can come back in and win again, and he just couldn't do it.
Textbook performance by Andy DeVent, though. Real quality and class.
Yeah, really, really good job by Andy DeVent. I'm very impressed by how he fought this fight and how he came back and finally put himself now at 11-9. You know, he got a little bit of a slide his last time. Like I said, when we first started commentating, he was losing. You know, he was on a losing record. He batted himself back, got a quick slide his last time, and you see here, just he's finding his way. I'd like to see him keep his hands up a little bit more on those haymakers, because you don't even want to get a guy come back and win by accident, which would have happened if he caught him or something. But man, his double legs were tight. His getting in there nice and deep and picking him up and putting him on the ground, getting his hands locked every time against the cage, and that really was his 6 or 7 takedowns. I think all of them were done that way.
And this is what convinced the corner. It's this moment now. And as I said, it was a position of deja vu for us, and I think the corner thought the same thing. Enough is enough. Good call.
Smart position, smart job on the corner. Good job, and it's tough for corner guys. It's tough for guys, anybody, to call a guy that you spend a lot of time with, getting him ready for a fight, to have to go, look, he's just being outmatched, just move him on.
And the other thing as well is, when you're on that winning streak, there's always that thought, I said, maybe he'll pull it around, maybe he'll get that submission. It wasn't going to happen tonight, though.
Yeah, there wasn't a chance of it happening at all in this fight. We just didn't see it. And good job, props to his corner for stopping it. You know, it's a tough situation, but let's not forget how tough Roggy Lawson is. Like, he did a great job of getting out of those submissions.
True, very true. So we'll just go to MC Mike Markham for the announcement.
At 1 minute 44 seconds of the third round due to corner stoppage. Your winner by technical knockout, Andy the Lion's Paw DeVent.
I stand here with Andy DeVent. Wow, great job. Your double legs against the cage, absolutely outstanding. I lost count at one point. I think you got 7 takedowns, and all of them with your hands locked. It's an amazing improvement from the last time you fought. What have you been doing with your wrestling? It's incredible.
I've been training with Ali for nearly 3-4 years, and any mistakes that I make, he punishes me in the gym for them. So, you know, he said this time you don't make them mistakes. He says next time if you get to fight Harry, hopefully it'll be in Manchester for the belt, if they can put it on, I won't make them mistakes.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I think you definitely should be fighting for the belt. We were talking at the commentary table. You're 10-9. It was kind of questionable. You lose this one, I would say it's a 500. You had a little slide the last fight. How important was you for to hurry up and get this fight over and try to find a way to finish it? Because you tried.
I knew he was a tough kid, and I just thought, yeah, as you can see, I just stayed in half side mount and just pounded him. You know, I didn't want to go the distance with him. If I did, I wanted to part of the statement. If I do go the distance with someone, they're just going to be on the other end of it, just getting busted. And you know, Neil, watch out from Neil. He wasn't doing nothing. He was just getting beat up. So he just saved him from a choke or a tap.
Well, I got to be honest with you. If my opinion counts for anything backstage and these guys want to hear it, you should be in a title fight coming here December 6th on BAMMA 17. I really believe so. Great job, Andy. It was a pleasure.